Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. Today's video is going to be titled Elite Aura Events. This is just going to be events that you experienced as a young man, whether it was in high school, college, or just in general, right? Basically events that made you feel like you were leveling up. And yeah, that's a good explanation. I feel like I'm gonna get straight to it. First up, we got touch and rim. And when I say touch and rim, I mean a 10-foot rim. I don't mean the little 8-foot rim that you got in your driveway. Bro, my first time touching rim, I was like just starting 8th grade. So, I was feeling myself a little bit. I'm over here thinking I'm gonna be dunking by freshman, sophomore year. Talking about yamming that whole like. Because when I was touching it, I wasn't just jumping straight up and just going and touching it. I was like cocking my arm back. Bro, I was doing like, and you gotta keep in mind, most of the people around me, even if they were like taller than me, couldn't touch rim. I also did like long jump, high jump while I was in, middle school during track and field. So I guess that could have helped. But yeah, high school, I ain't even end up playing basketball. I wasn't that good. I wasn't good enough to be on the team. Even though I had decent height freshman year, I gave up. And I didn't practice hard enough either. But by the end of high school, I wasn't even able to touch rim. I had grown taller. I was like, dang, I can't even touch rim anymore. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, especially if you're a young hooper who's been playing basketball for a hot minute, who knows what they're doing, your first time touching rim, hey, stepping stone, right? Hey, get up a little bit more, maybe grow a few more inches, hit legs a little harder. When you in the gym, hey, you finna start dunking that hoe, straight like that. Next up, we got putting on some muscle. I grew up a skinny kid, so I put on muscle, not the best. But the one benefit of being a skinny kid my whole life is that I had a six-pack at a super young age. I thought I was doing something. I didn't know that it was because I lacked so much body fat. But now that I work out consistently, I kind of get the gist. Hopefully I get back there one day. But yeah, bro, if you play football, you do a lot of weightlifting, especially during the off season. Max is going up every once in a while. You're getting pushed, blah, blah, blah. Days, sometimes I can admit it, I slacked off on a lot of days. If I would have took it as serious, maybe went as harder, shoot, I probably would have been, pushing something. But I liked my maxes back in high school, so I'm satisfied with the results. We can't all be the best. I'll say it right here, we can't all be the best. But putting on muscle in high school and then putting on muscle post high school, two different breeds. Putting on muscle as a grown ass man, going to a commercial gym, that's a different breed, my brother, that's a different breed. Back when I was stationed in Florida, the base I was at had this new gym that was built in 2019. And I arrived just at the beginning of 2022. So basically it was a new gym. And I was living in the barracks. I didn't have my mom waking me up. So I needed something to put some discipline in me. So I just started going to the gym every day. I hit upper body, lower body, back to back to back to back to back. I didn't know what I was doing. Then I ended up working out with a few guys. I learned a split. Then, I started doing the bro split, hitting arms, shoulders, chest, all that on different days, back, legs. Then I learned the PPL, started doing that PPL split. Now I got a different split. So, if you are new to the gym as a young man, you aren't going to get everything first try. It took me about 9 months to learn the split that I was really gonna be doing, right? And I could be honest, it really only took about 6 months, really. Because, once you start hitting that gym, your phone be listening, that algorithm be changing, you start getting advice on the gram, you start seeing more YouTube videos on it. Jeff Nipper be popping up on your, but yeah, no, that's a good learning process. That's one of the best experiences you have as a man, getting in the gym on your own accord, going with it, man. And the new year coming up, right? So all y'all in that new year, new me mumbo jumbo, hey, start now, man. Just start whenever. Don't wait till next year to quit again and then, I'm gonna start at the beginning of the year. No, start in July, start in June, start in October. Because think about it like this, that time's gonna fly by anyway. You might as well be putting on that muscle, losing that body fat in that mean process. All right, so next up we got getting some money. This is another thing that could start in, high school, maybe post high school, you don't know. And when I say getting some money, I'm not talking about the $10 that your grandma gives you for your birthday in that little car from Walmart. I'm talking about getting a job that you pay taxes with, taxable income. You know, some of y'all choose a different route to get that bread up. I'm not gonna say it because this is YouTube, but y'all know what y'all do. Hey, shout out. Hey man, hustling ain't easy. Not a supporter of that lifestyle. I can't go 100%. I've seen bad things have happened to people in that lifestyle. But yeah, your first few paychecks are gonna feel nice, especially when they just end paychecks and you still living with your moms or your pops or your grandma or grandpa, however you lived your life. You know, whether you work in fast food, whether you start working at a warehouse, whether you start doing like something with a 401k, or you join the military, the first money that you see go into your account that you can 100% control is going to feel nice. Now, I was fortunate getting my money. I'll be 100%, but there were times where I struggled to save money. And if you're working a job where you don't work on the weekends and you have a lot of friends, that's where it might bite you in the ass, because they might want to go out every weekend. You might want to go with them. They might want to get food every day, right? This and that. You know, your mom, if you're still living with your mom, she's probably cooking for you. Don't be hesitant to eat that food. When you're moving out on your own, that's a different topic. You know, that's a different topic for a different day. We just talking about when you first start getting some. But you got to keep in mind that money's only coming in if you keep that job as well. And living below your means is one of the most important things you can do. You gotta keep in mind, there's millionaires living check to check because they spend so much money. There's people who make 6 figures who live check to check because they're spending so much money. I know a lot of y'all love to travel. I know a lot of y'all like going to concerts. Y'all love going drinking every night. Some of y'all like to do all of those, right? You're adventurous, that's cool. But if you wanna be an adventurous person, you're either gonna have to make a lot of money or you're gonna have to be smart with it at some point in time. Learn when to say no to your wallet. Last up on this list is when she goes in for the hug. This is probably also going to be high school most likely, but could be after, you know, for you shyer dudes. And if you stay, you know, sauced up enough for a good amount of your time, you might come upon a point where you chatting with a girl, maybe y'all walking somewhere, maybe y'all at like a school event and y'all two kind of get an ISO and y'all just talking, vibing, getting to know each other. You know, maybe you ask her for the snap, the gram, you know, something to keep in contact with her. Even though you've seen her around school, maybe even her number, hey. But you might end up running into, you know, an object where y'all are finna leave and she goes in for the hug before you can think about it or initiate it. And in those few seconds, you can't get nervous. You gotta keep your cool, keep your composure, and basically just go back in for it. And try not to make it an awkward, weird situation thing by like hugging her all weird and stuff. You ain't gotta get too into it. You ain't gotta like grab her like Duke Dinners or something like that. But you know, try and make it smooth at the least. Cause in reality, the first girl who shows us signs is the first one we fumble. It's hard not to fumble the first girl who starts vibing with us. And if you are a guy who has never fumbled the first girl who tried to like, you know, throw signs at you, hey, good for you, man. But it's hard for some of us out here, all right? We can't all be Denzel, Chris Brown, Duke Dennis, all them dudes who don't be getting rejected. Heck, she might not go in for the hug until like 3 link-ups or 5 times of seeing her. Hey, you might try and go in for the hug, yeah? Hit her with one of them church hugs, one of them one-arm side hugs or whatever. Just don't mess that up. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of this video. I'm gonna make this a quick one. I ain't got too much to talk about on this topic. Thanks for watching to the end if you made it this far. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. Not gonna make this outro long. Thank you. Hey, stay safe during the new year, guys. Don't be tripping, this and that. Hopefully y'all started y'all's New Year's resolutions and it's not New Year's resolutions, right? Hopefully y'all started them way before the year was about to end. But yeah, stay safe. Appreciate y'all though. Deuce.